Dragon's Dogma 2 hard mode is officially confirmed. It is not merely being considered anymore. In the latest official Q&A from the Dragon's Dogma 2 team, director Kento Kinoshita says very plainly, "We're working on a hard mode." There's no ambiguity here and no chance that something was lost in translation. They confirm it and then provide a few details about who it is being designed for. Most of this Q&A covers information we have already heard through previous interviews or the Capcom Spotlight, but there are some interesting details worth discussing, including new Relic appraisal wording and further clarification about Transmog. Let's start with the obvious headline. When asked about the level of challenge players can expect from Dark Arisen, Kento Kinoshita confirmed that the team is working on a hard mode, intended to provide a satisfying challenge for experienced players whose stats are approaching or have already reached the level cap. The actual character level cap is 999, although stats kinda stopped growing much earlier, around level 200, so when they refer to players approaching the cap, they may be talking more broadly about, high-level characters rather than literally, requiring level 199. Hard mode is confirmed to be in development, but it has not been confirmed for the August title update or for the launch of Dark Arisen on October 9. I guess it could arrive with either of them or it could arrive sometime later. For now, all we know for certain is that it exists, it is actively being developed, and it is specifically intended for high-level characters. Right. I like that much better than under consideration. It's a massive win for all Arisen. Another cool thing is that hard mode is not their only answer to overpowered players. Kento Kinoshita says that even on normal mode, the difficulty of Dark Arisen will gradually increase as players progress through the expansion. Enemy encounters will become increasingly demanding, and the middle and later stages are apparently being balanced so that even characters who have reached the stat cap can still face a meaningful challenge. That is very encouraging, sir. One of the biggest concerns surrounding Dark Arisen has been what happens when someone brings a level 100, a level 200, or a completely deranged level 999 character to content with a recommended starting level of 40. While level 40 only applies to the beginning, the recommended starting level for the Lost Rites dungeons is 20, while the Forsaken Dominion, that's Norgan, begins at around 40. However, both of those continue escalating beyond those initial recommendations. They begin at an accessible level, become increasingly more demanding as you progress, and eventually reach encounters intended to pressure even extremely skilled players like Odisseo. Shout out to Odisseo. Beyond that, hard mode provides another layer for players who still find normal mode too forgiving. That's not the most ideal answer I wanted to get from the difficulty discussion, but it's a start. Hard mode is hard confirmed. The Relic appraisal system also received one very interesting description. We'll not linger here for too long. The producer Oyama says players can obtain weapons, armor, and skills with random parameters. While previous interviews made it sound like weapons and armor could roll different stats like special properties, some bonuses connected to skills, or modified versions of existing skills. So this new wording specifically lists skills alongside equipment. That could mean skills themselves are somehow obtained through appraisal, or it could mean appraised equipment can contain random skill related bonuses or modified, like morphed versions of skills, and the community post has simply compressed that explanation. Anyway, the wording is noteworthy, and I would very much like Capcom to clarify exactly what a randomly appraised skill means. Next, they once again confirmed there will be no entirely new vocations, but Dark Arisen will expand every existing one. The August title update increases the number of equipped weapon skills from 4 to 6. The expansion then adds completely new skills for each vocation, alongside higher levels of existing skills. That sounds like the expansion's not merely giving every vocation a new ability. Existing abilities may also receive further progression or stronger advanced versions, giving established builds something to work toward. I'm extremely excited. The Q&A also confirms that Transmog is unlocked by completing a side quest chain in Norgan. However, its exact scope remains unclear. They describe it as allowing players to change the appearance of weapons and armor obtained in Norgan, while retaining their original stats. That may mean only equipment obtained in Norgan can act as the stat-bearing item, or it does not necessarily mean every piece of base game equipment will be universally interchangeable. It is also still unknown whether Transmog can be applied to pawn equipment and how transmogrified pawns will appear in the Rift. So we still need to see the actual system before declaring unrestricted fashion freedom. And finally, Kento Kinoshita also says the positive response to the Dark Arisen announcement encouraged the developers to go beyond their original production plans. He says the team continued asking themselves whether there was anything more they could add, and that they're still working to deliver the best possible expansion right up until the end. That means the things that this community has done over the last 2 years was not in vain. The videos posted, theories crafted, mods developed, campaigns like the Arisen Want More all helped demonstrate that there was still a passionate audience waiting for more Dragon's Dogma. I don't know how much of this is sincere and how much is public relation language, but I really want to believe they mean it. And I want to believe that we, as a community, helped make this expansion possible and encouraged them to make it slightly more ambitious.
Kino 爪よりも